Hi guys, this is gsno.com and it's been a while since the last Huawei phone we've tested. Huawei Nova 9 is here, it's just been launched in Europe, and we have the core, the Nova 9 model. There is also a Pro version out there. This one is a high mid-range phone with HarmonyOS 2.0 on board, and it's actually the first HarmonyOS phone we're testing. It has a beautiful and slim design in keeping with the Nova lineup and is priced at around 570 euros here in Europe. Okay, so I'm going to fire it up and then you're going to see what's inside the box. Now, the last Nova phone I've tested, it was actually the Nova 5T, which was an excellent phone, especially when it came to macros and selfies. Also pretty decent stabilization, and I remember that it had a purple backside with some nice inscriptions below the glass surface. This one comes with fast charging, high refresh rate, and a CPU you've heard of, but this time in a 4G version. Now, in the box you're going to find this key used to access the slots, as well as this cable which goes from USB-C to USB-A. And here we have a charger which promises 66 watt charging and has an USB-A connector. That's pretty much it. We have here a test version, but be assured that your version also comes with a manual, of course, and warranty. Okay, so the pin is required after the restart, and here we go. This is HarmonyOS 2.0. It's a pretty familiar interface if you've seen EMUI and its latest features. At the same time, we have, aside from that, some extras like that feature here, which allows you to connect to other devices and use this as a hub to unite everything that's Huawei around the house, from laptops to tablets and even TV sets. Now, let's talk about the design first and foremost. The device is available in a few colors. There's black, blue, there's also light green, and this one is a sort of a purple meets blue with a special glittery coating on top of it. I would say it's plastic, but it's well crafted and has this nifty Nova inscription here to appeal to the youngsters. And there's the new fangled camera design, which looks a bit like the one from the Huawei P50 series. It's a very slim phone at 7.8 millimeters. It's got a curved screen, which you can see here. It's gently curved toward the sides. It reminds me a bit of the Huawei Mate 30 Pro and Mate 40 Pro, not as curved as the waterfall screens, but still pretty curved. Decent weight, 175 grams, which means it's quite a light handset, so that's fine. Pretty grippy on account of this nifty metal frame, and well, that's about it design wise. I have to say I'm loving this approach. I find it to be pretty comfy, good looking. We have here a punch hole for the selfie camera, and on the screen we've already applied from the factory a plastic screen protector. Now, other things worth mentioning aside from what we mentioned before. We have the buttons on the right side, the power and the volume, they're quite slim. We have the fingerprint scanner of the optical variety within the screen, but we also have face unlock. And I think it's time to discuss the screen. This one is an OLED, 6.57 inches, Full HD Plus, and also 120 Hz refresh rate. And if you need to confirm it, we can go here, display and brightness. We can go to the screen refresh rate. It can be set to dynamic. You can change around depending on the content you're showing. It can be set to high or standard. Now, aside from that, this is a dual SIM phone. You probably know that already. And if you want to talk about the innards, we have this app here, which shows you a Qualcomm Snapdragon 778G CPU, a 6nm chip in a 4G version. You already know the 5G version from phones like Galaxy A52s 5G, Motorola H20 or Honor 50. The quantity of RAM is 8 gigs. That's how much we're getting here, accompanied by 120 GB of storage. There's no microSD, and as you can well see for yourself, there's no audio jack. And we have a singular speaker here next to the USB-C 2.0 port. Now the battery. We can also see this battery in this app. It's a 4300 mAh unit, which charges at 66 watts and on paper promises to juice up the phone in just 38 minutes, from 0 to 100%. Now the cool thing is that if you connect your cable to this port here, and it's a USB-C to USB-C, you may end up charging another phone. So it also has reverse charging. On the connectivity front, aside from the USB I keep mentioning, we got Wi-Fi 6, we got 4G connectivity, Bluetooth 5.2, there's tri-band AGPS, GLONASS, BDS, Galileo, QZSS and Navic, and we also have NFC for your payment needs. And you can actually do those NFC payments on account of the Curve app, which can be installed on the phone. Now, as far as the cameras are concerned, here in the punch hole there's a 32 megapixel shooter which has 4K capture, so a lot of emphasis on selfie action. It also has slow-mo and time-lapse, which you don't see every day on a high mid-range phone. And on the back side we have a quad camera setup. This is the star of the show, the 50 megapixel camera with a ring around it. It's a Sony sensor of the RYYB, red, yellow, yellow, blue variety, captures extra light, f1.9 aperture. Then we have this triple setup here that includes ultra-wide 8 megapixel, 2 megapixel bokeh and 2 megapixel macro. This is the LED flash, and this ensemble does 4K 30 frames per second capture and has quite a few interesting settings here. Okay, so by settings I actually mean features. There are the vlogging features, which are pretty cool. Usually they involve using multiple cameras at the same time. So this one, for example, uses two cameras at the same time, the main one and the ultra-wide one. And this one uses front and rear at the same time. This one uses only the front, this one only the rear, and this one provides a picture-in-picture approach for your vlogging. In the more section you have panorama, moving picture, super macro, slow-mo, there is time-lapse, story creator, pro, aperture, stickers and a high resolution shot using the full resolution 50 megapixels of the main sensor. Now here you can choose your resolution, so you can shoot 4K in 30 frames or Full HD in 60 frames. You can switch to the ultra-wide like this, and you can do a digital zoom like this. There's the photo section with AI, also with a bunch of filters. Video also has its own filters, and one of them is background blur. Believe it or not, we even had that 3 years ago on the Huawei Mate 20 Pro. And here we have the portrait and the night mode. That's pretty much it about the phone, and software-wise it's HarmonyOS 2.0, and not much to say here. It will feel familiar and right at home if you've used EMUI on Android phone before. You can see those bubbles here. This is basically the quick settings area. You can see this device plus feature, which is searching for nearby devices and connecting to them. Huawei TV sets, Huawei tablets, Huawei headphones, and many things like that. It has the multi-collaboration features. Here it has sort of an aggregator of useful apps, features, news, sports stuff. Instead of the Google services, we're going to be relying on Petal for your search needs and Huawei AppGallery for your app needs. You see, it has been expanded quite a lot from its inception from about 2 years ago. It has tens of thousands of apps, and more and more banking apps are coming to it. Here we have the categories, 18 of them: cars, business, entertainment, food and drink, kids, lifestyle, navigation and transport, news, themes, and so much more. Okay, so as far as I know, this one has about 500 million users around the globe, Huawei AppGallery, and it's constantly growing. It also has Petal Maps as an alternative to Google Maps. You can also use Bolt to move around. You have the proprietary music, video, and books app from Huawei, the Game Center for your gaming needs, and so much more. And if you don't like those apps being stuffed on your home screens, you can definitely opt for an app drawer, which is also available. Now, swiping down from here equals control panel, swiping from here equals notifications. And that's pretty much it. It's a youthful phone with a pretty good looking backside and a lot of promise from the camera. Or should I say cameras, both back and front look pretty promising. That's it from us. I would say that I'm the most impressed by how slim and light the phone is, and I have great expectations from its camera and its fast charging. That's it from us. We'll be back with a full review soon. Bye bye.